My name's Kelly McCluskey. I'm a co-founder and artist with a tactical media arts group called PVI Collective. We recently made a work for the Sydney Biennale which was on an iPhone. And it was a tactical media artwork that it was a participatory work that invited audiences to take out one of our iPhones and roam the streets and find strategies for revolutionising public space in subtle ways. So yeah, it very much, it's something that we're quite excited about possibly being involved with. Yeah, we came along not quite knowing much about it, so it was really good to get a sense of what the Cross Media Lab is doing and how it's looking to kind of service the arts community.
My name's Timothy Oliver. I'm a website developer at Edith Cowan University. I'm one of the internal developers, so I don't actually work on the main site, but I handle most of the internal systems. Social media is a really interesting one because, I only started doing Twitter about 2 years ago, but it's changed my perception of these kinds of things. Just now, I was amazed at how we're looking at a presentation, but we're all talking about it at the same time. And this is just a paradigm that's just completely new thanks to social media. Everyone makes new friends, everyone finds out the abilities of other people, what kind of resources are available around Perth, and just the whole thing takes off from there, I'd say.
My name is Kurt Curtisingham, Managing Director of Post&Till Choice, and we developed the software called Oscopos. It's a point-of-sale software predominantly used in restaurants. Planning to attend the Cross Media Lab, and hopefully it will be more beneficial for us.
I run Link Artist Multimedia. We started out as a web design company, but are sort of moving into online sort of strategy and, sort of all-in-one packages rather than, just websites, because it's more than just websites. I actually started my business living in Perth, but working with clients in Los Angeles, and that was actually the beauty of being online, was the fact that, I did transcend geography.
I'm Selena Prosser from Loaded Brush, and I specialise in creativity and learning, and I'm interested in finding out what other people think about how creativity and communication work together, and I guess discussing some ideas around that. I basically get people together and get them to paint or have a play with clay and explore creativity and learning, and a big part of that is communication and collaboration, experimentation, risk-taking, problem-solving, all of those things that are fun and exciting but a little bit scary.
My name is Gary Barber. I'm a usability consultant. I freelance to government sector, private enterprise, etc. around Perth and on the east coast of Australia. I engage heavily with social media, particularly Twitter, on a day-to-day basis, and use that as an aggregator of information, tools, techniques, and to engage with my like peers and colleagues within the web community. Digital media has always been seen to be the off-the-side thing that advertising agencies or web people do. It hasn't really been seen to have much credibility. Giving it a bit more leeway of promotion of events and facilities by government and some large elements of the private sector would help.
My name is Michela Ciunaghi. I'm coming from Italy. I've just moved to Perth, and I'm still the digital strategy director of an agency in Italy. So I'm just working online with the guys and using Skype or all the virtual stuff that can help us. It was interesting because it was a very different respect to what you can find in Europe. I mean, in Europe, commonly you don't have an event like this sponsored by, the town. It will be sponsored by brands or let's say free people. And the other point was that, there are very interesting companies also in Western Australia, because anyone in Europe thinks about Australia as Sydney and Melbourne, while Western Australia doesn't exist in their mind. So that was a nice discovery.
My name's Karen Thompson. I'm on Twitter known as Kaz747. I actually work for Murdoch University in the executive education area, but I do a lot of stuff in social media as well. I use Twitter, I use Foursquare, I use Facebook, I use LinkedIn. I do a lot of I speak a lot about utilising social media for engagement and for often for careers as well. And I do a lot of speaking to young people in particular about how you can use social media to enhance and help your career, or how you can not. Perth is the centre of the universe. Did you not know that? No. With the world, we're so connected. I have conversations every day with people, over the net. People in the US, in Canada, in Asia, in London, and I think we're far more connected now than we ever have been in the past. It's amazing. I went to Europe a few months ago on holidays, and just being able to sort of tweet that I was heading to London, the number of invitations I got to meet up with people that I had met through social media, it's really quite amazing.
Well, because we work natively digital anyway, what we're interested in is making sure that we're getting the best stuff to the right audience in the right way. So it affects the way that we sort of compile our content, what bits, how the DVD interacts with the website, how our YouTube audience reaches combines with our Facebook audience, whether we can get those people, if they're local, to come to a gig that we put on as well would be nice. I think the industry itself is actually going reasonably well. I like the way that the City of Perth's become involved, especially in trying to bring creative businesses, small-scale businesses, into places where they can, gain some advantage by being sort of grouped together, sharing some resources. I think that kind of stuff gives people a leg up. I'm sure that there's a bigger movement towards incubators as well, which will give a lot of people working on the arts side a much better grounding. They'll be able to find a base from which to grow. Getting that stuff settled and building communities like this and like AWA has over a number of years, that's really important for making sure that people know who to talk to when they can't solve a problem themselves.
We're a team who are collaborating on an online storytelling project. I'm the writer and Gareth is the producer. And we think that the arts really needs to look at the digital media world to think about it very seriously, because that's where the future is.
I'm here because I've noticed that in Perth there's a lot of creative people, but there's not a lot of talking about what we do or kind of like working together. It works if someone has money and they want to give that other person money, but that's kind of just employing someone to do stuff. I think there's a lot of benefit in people helping each other just get their ideas off the ground. One example that I've seen recently is Miles Eftos, which is Mad Pilot on Twitter, and Jay Hollywood, which is Jay Hollywood on Twitter, worked together to build an app recently, just helping each other out, and it's been quite successful. The real point of me coming here was to find out what other people are doing and see if maybe I can help or if they can help me with my things. People say Perth's boring and old-fashioned. I used to say that. I was, oh my God, I should move to Melbourne so I can get anything done. But really, Perth isn't like that. Perth's just dedicated to getting things done. I think there are a lot of people who do the right thing and work on some pretty cool stuff, but are so focused on doing what they're doing that they're not, I don't know, maybe not as out there and talkative. They're more just workers. And that sort of workhorse instead of show horse prerogative, I think means that we are going to achieve a lot more than other states and other countries and cities where they do a lot of talking and get a lot of venture capitalism to build these nothings, whereas we just knuckle down and build some great stuff. I mean, QuickFlix tonight is a great example of someone that's just gone and built something awesome and showing that with results, as opposed to just talking a lot about something and gotten a bunch of venture capitalism to build something I don't believe is as real as a real business model. I think that's what Perth has, real business models from real entrepreneurs.
I'm Peter Taliangis from Realty One. I run a networking group on LinkedIn called Networking Perth WA, and I'm here to learn more about digital marketing and the impact on society and social networks, and also meet a whole bunch of people that are in a different industry to me in the creative arts. I think the think tank provides opportunities for people to get together and share ideas and connect, which ultimately will help keep creative industries alive and functioning in Western Australia. And that's a really good thing, because we need all the creative people to stay in Perth and share their great ideas and their great business ideas with the rest of us.
My name's Jason Hutchins, and I'm here because I have an interest in the digital media industry. I come from a computer games background, and I also work in web application development. Experience in Perth has always been that people that I know that are very creative and very intelligent tend to move overseas and work for big companies, work in creative industries overseas, they inevitably return to Perth for lifestyle reasons. I think there's a lot of those kinds of people around, and I'd love to see an industry form that, you know, gave them the creative outlet that they crave. I'd include myself in those groups of people. There's this whole idea of gamification at the moment. So I have a friend in Silicon Valley who recently went to a conference where gamification was the big buzzword, and I don't think anybody here has really heard of that. But the idea is applying, lessons and so forth from games to other kinds of media, and I think that that's going to be big in the next couple of years, and we should be looking at that sort of stuff. And we have the skilled people in Perth to do it. One thing that we learn when we're making games is we have to find the fun straight away. So you can sit down and design a game and have it all planned out, and when you implement it, it's just not fun at all. And it's a constant sort of feedback process with the players of games, you know, during testing, where you manage to hone things down and actually find out what engages people, what they enjoy, what keeps them coming back. And that sort of iterative development process is something that's a little bit new. I think it's something that can be applied to other industries. So I think that there's a lot of crossover there and a lot of potential for growth.
My name's David Cake. I'm a software developer. I'm here to connect with people who are interested in developing software because I love working with creative and talented people, but I'm also here to talk about the Perth Artifactory, which is an organisation I run, which is a non-profit that you join up and you get a shared workshop for people to work on creative technological projects. For people who are tired of their software projects being only virtual, we help you make it into actual physical things. Every time I go to something involving the creative industries in Perth, I find incredible, talented people that I've never, ever met or heard of before. What we really need to do is just give us lots more opportunities to talk to one another, because I keep finding incredible people whenever we're given the chance.